contrast how that is here in Europe and here in Germany. So there are 3 things that I would like for you to just sort of try and be for the next 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, you can go have lunch, and you can be whoever you want to be. But for 40 minutes, 3 things. Be curious. There's sort of 3 things that we talk about that if you're going to be innovative, you have to be these 3 things. And if you can't, then I can't help you, and you're not going to innovate. Curiosity is one of those things. Secondly, open your mind. Allow for the possibility for something new to happen today. Something new for me is this is one of my first conferences, international, that I get to present at, and also to a group of people who English is not the first language, and I know no German other than danke. So open your mind. And then third, leave your ego behind. We all have pretty senior positions in our organizations. We have a lot of experience, a lot of education, and ultimately you have to put all of that aside if you're going to sit down at a table with a group of friends and or colleagues and try and create something new. So 3 things for today. Be curious, open your mind, and leave your ego behind. And so hopefully when you start hearing the things we're talking about today, it won't feel so foreign. So I think all of you know George Clooney. I did not see an espresso machine out here, but I'm a big fan of the Nespressos because Nespresso shows an incredible amount of innovation for Nestle. They created things that they never thought that they were going to do. They're now a retailer. They now have an inkjet printer cartridge approach to buying coffee. The cost of coffee, what you pay for coffee today, is significantly more than you paid 10 years ago, and it will continue to be higher. Nespresso is a great example of this, and they've been so successful that George Clooney is worldwide one of their sponsors. So it's this sort of innovation, this kind of approach, that we need to think about bringing into the media industry, because we haven't done this yet. And we're being hugely disrupted by all of those around us, or as I said, or as Jürgen said in his introduction, somebody with a computer and an internet connection. So what is my charge? I am in charge of infusing innovation into Gannett. So sort of waving that magic wand and saying, we're going to be innovative. So why? Like, what is innovation? I'm sure you're going to hear a million different definitions today. If I were to poll every single person in the room, there would be many, many different definitions. And that's okay. But what's really important for us is to try and build a common language by which we talk about innovation. One thing I do know about innovation is it doesn't just happen. It especially doesn't just happen in existing organizations like ours. Gannett is a 100-year-old company. Our last major innovation was USA Today, which will celebrate its 30th anniversary next year. That doesn't mean we're an innovative company. So you need processes, you need an approach to bring innovation, especially into companies that have a lot of expertise and a lot of tenure. And what's really important, and I expect or suspect that it was mentioned in the Global 1000 readout that Lucas gave, which is that its teams and individuals are incredibly important. I heard the preview that was given last week of the Booz and Company report in the US, and that was one of the things that really struck me, that you need to be a needs-based organization, and that if you don't have that alignment between your business strategy and your organization, you're sort of dead in the water. Nothing's going to happen. And I will tell you that is absolutely true, because Gannett is one of the companies that answered that survey and said our business strategy is not aligned with our organizational and innovation strategy. So it's a true case, and we're trying to figure out how we can improve that and how we can change that. So why do we fail to innovate? So one of my colleagues went to Finland last year, and he told me this fable that a bunch of his people that he spoke to came up with, and have yet to be able to prove it. So if any of you know this story, maybe you can tell me later how I can prove it, because no one that I've given this talk to believes me that in Finland they talk about this. So that you have a cat on the table, and think of it as when you're at a dinner party, we're all here, and we had cats sort of running along underneath the table. Nobody mentions that that cat is doing it, but everybody knows that that cat is there. And so supposedly in Finland, what they say is just put the cat on the table. Let's just put it out there. Let's just talk about the things that need to be said that are never said. I'll translate that to radical candor. We don't talk about a lot of things in Gannett. We'd like to sweep it under the table and pretend that the things that really failed never happened. And I'm just as guilty as others.